next guest is an Emmy-nominated actress you know from her work on Westworld and Mildred Pierce in The Wrestler. She stars as Madonna in the movie Weird, the Al Yankovic story, which premieres November 4th on Roku Channel. Let's take a look.
Okay, here's my thought. I think this is a really great idea. I hope you like it. We team up, right? I'll write all the, good songs, the real ones, and then you parody them every time. Bam, bam, it's perfect.
Sounds great.
It's foolproof. We'll be unstoppable. We'll be the hottest power couple in the entire music industry. What would our power couple name be? I'm thinking Madankovic, or Madonnovic, or maybe just Madonna.
Please welcome back to the show, Evan Rachel Wood, everyone. Welcome back. I'm so happy to have you here.
I'm so happy to be back. It's been a minute.
It has been a while. This is such a fun reason to have you here. This movie is a biopic about Weird Al that takes a lot of liberties with the truth.
Oh, it's 100% accurate. I don't know what you're talking about.
Was it as much fun to make as it was to watch?
We had such a blast. We had 18 days to shoot this.
You shot it in 18 days. That is no days.
It's 0 days.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like student film days.
Yes.
But we did. We had an amazing cast and crew. Daniel Radcliffe is like an absolute dream to work with, and I'm addicted to comedies now. I'm worried that I'm only going to want to do comedies now.
Well, it was such a nice shift. I mean, you're obviously a wonderful dramatic actress, but it was so much fun to see you do something that seemed like.
Is this what you guys do? You show up and you make each other laugh. You don't have to get dragged through the mud or scream or anything.
Yeah, it was very. You do get dragged through the mud a great deal in some of your work.
That is true. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But this is, you mentioned working with Daniel, which is so cool. And I know you have a 9-year-old. Is your 9-year-old into Harry Potter? Was that a big deal that you were working with Daniel?
Of course,
Yeah.
yes. Definitely, we watched all of the Harry Potter films together, and I told him I would be working with Daniel Radcliffe, and he said, "Oh, can I come to set?" And I went, no, because I didn't know how to tell my son that part of my job was to just violently make out with him throughout the entire film.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can't come and watch Mom make out with Harry Potter. No.
You're like, even wizards grow up.
Yeah, and exactly, and but we're no playing with wands. We're not going to do this. No.
So you play Madonna in the film.
Yes.
And this is there have been so many eras in her iconic music career, but this seemed like a particularly fun era. One of your favorite Madonna eras?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, I've been such a huge fan of hers since I was a kid. I would, fake sick so I could stay home from school to lip sync the Immaculate Collection, and I totally got busted by my mom once, like in a mid-knee slide with the candlestick microphone, and it was like a brat. And she was like, "You're not sick of school."
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been training my whole life for this.
How do you prep to play a Madonna? Especially because there's got to be a level of accuracy, but also it's a comedy, so it's not, you don't have to take it as seriously as a biopic, but you also can't just mail it in.
No, and I did take it very seriously. It felt like the pressure was slightly off because it wasn't a Madonna biopic.
Right.
It was a parody, but yes, I still wanted it to be good. I kind of wanted, people to be like, yeah, the Madonna biopic was really good, but did you see Evan Rachel Wood do the Madonna in the Weird Al movie? Like, that was kind of the goal.
You have been lucky enough to meet the real Madonna?
Yes.
And how was your time with her?
We've had a lovely time together. We had dinner once. We've been very friendly. I don't know if she'll be calling me after this because I didn't know that they didn't have her permission once I signed on. I found out when we were like halfay through shooting.
Yeah,
so
on day 9.
Day 9. I was like, so what did Madonna say when you asked her about this? And they were like, we never talked to Madonna. I was like, great.
It will be very funny if you get a text from her that makes it very clear that she's seen the film. You know,
or I
she's-
just don't get a Christmas card this year.
Yes,
Like-
exactly. But it is such a, and again, that era, I think for everybody. I mean, Daniel obviously has very fun wardrobe as well, getting to be Weird Al. But you could dressing up like Madonna from the 80s is so much fun.
I never wanted to take the clothes off. And
Yeah.
every day I came to work thinking, like, I wonder if this is ever going to get older. I'm going to get jaded about this. Nope, it was always just as fun. I couldn't stop doing dub smashes, couldn't stop listening to Madonna music. We all had a great time, especially like hair and makeup as well.
You mentioned your kid getting to meet Daniel. Have you worked with other co-stars over the years that are impressive to a 9-year-old?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, he could barely get out a word when he met Daniel.
And it should be noted, Daniel, I would imagine, has been through that before and is
So many
probably the
times.
best at it. Remember, better than anyone in the world. He is the sweetest guy in the world. And he's
Absolutely.
very aware that when he meets kids, it's going to be harder for the kid than it is for him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even imagine how many times he's been asked to do that. Handled it so well. I think my child got out maybe 3 words, and I was like, Daniel, thank you so much. I'm, sorry, they only said 3 things. And he went, oh, that's impressive. Yeah. 3 words is very impressive. Most kids just hide. I don't even see them. And so I was like, oh, okay, good, you did good. But I think the only other time he really geeked out was when, after I'd done Frozen 2.
Yep.
And he got to meet Josh Gad, who does the voice of Olaf, and didn't believe that he was Olaf until he was like, all right, close your eyes. And then he whispered, I'm Olaf, and I like warm hugs. And my child just went, and like, major mom points.
It can break different ways, because every now and then I've been lucky enough to, a friend of mine's done a voiceover, and I do the same thing with my kids. And I think sometimes they don't love it. Like,
Yeah.
they like to picture the sort of clean lines of animation, and when they meet, like, my scraggly, dope friends, they're like, oh, I don't like this at all.
That's
Yeah.
no.
I don't like that you were in my iPad.
I can
Yeah.
imagine.
You have a band.
Yes.
And your band performed on Halloween.
We did. We performed in New York on Halloween.
Have you often done Halloween shows?
We do a Halloween show every year.
Fantastic.
Yes.
I'm so jealous of the fact that you have Halloween plans, that you know what they're going to be.
Every year.
Yeah. And you get to be on stage, and I would imagine people are having the best possible time at a show like
They
that.
are, and this was the first time we had done a Halloween show in New York, and I always get like slightly intimidated because I love New York and I want to impress the crowd, but I always forget what a great audience they are. They're so receptive.
Yeah.
They're like theater people. They love a good show, and so it was great. We had an amazing time. Everyone was singing along.
Are you costumed on a Halloween show?
Oh yes,
Okay.
this year we dressed as Miriam and John from the movie The Hunger. I don't know, it's a vampire movie. Yeah, from the 80s. Why are you
That is
laughing?
the deepest cut. Oh my God, Miriam and John from The Hunger. I saw so many of those this year.
We're a niche band.
You're a
you know?
niche band, right. And then when you look out in the audience, though, do you feel like your audience are niche with their costumes? Or are you like, oh, there's Mario, there's Waldo?
Well, I did see a Judy Funny from Doug, which was
Okay.
that was a deep cut for me. But I also see a lot of Dolores, is what I like to call them, dressing up like Dolores from Westworld. I'm like,
Oh, that must be weird.
a lot of blue dresses. Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of Dolores in the audience.
Now, when you're performing for people in costume, do you as a performer know they're people in costume, or do you allow yourself to believe that those characters, those fictional characters, have come to see you in a show?
Wow, I never thought about that, but the next time I do a show, I'm absolutely going to think that.
Well, look, congratulations on the movie. It is really so much fun. And like I was saying backstage, such a funny idea. The execution is so much more impressive. I was delighted by how many twists and turns there were in it. And you're really great. And thanks so much for being here.
Thanks
It's always
for
a pleasure
having
to
me.
see you.
Yeah.
Evan Rachel Wood, everybody. Weird. The Al Yankovic story premieres tomorrow on the Roku channel. We'll be right back with more Late Night.